Welcome back to Charette Theory, your trusted guide for designing spaces that feel intentional, layered, and just a little bit unexpected. If you've ever found yourself longing for a bedroom that feels like an old library at midnight, or a hidden study lit by flickering candlelight, you're exactly where you need to be. Maybe you've spent rainy afternoons tucked away in bookstores, or maybe you just love the idea of a space that feels timeless, moody, and deeply comforting. Whatever draws you to the world of dark academia, this episode is here to help you bring that atmosphere right into your bedroom, so every evening feels a little more dramatic, a little more poetic, and a lot more personal. Today, we're going to show you exactly how to style a dark academia bedroom from the ground up, perfect for those crisp autumn nights when all you want to do is curl up under a heavy blanket, pour yourself a cup of tea, and let the rest of the world fade into the background. We'll walk through how to choose the right color palette, what kind of furniture works best, how to layer textures and fabrics, and which details will help you capture that nostalgic, scholarly feel without tipping into something that feels like a movie set. So grab your favorite notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive into everything you need to know to transform your bedroom into a cozy, dramatic retreat inspired by dark academia. Before we jump in, if you love exploring inspiring design ideas and architectural stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on what's coming next. Alright, let's get into it. Let's begin where every dark academia bedroom truly takes shape, with the color palette. This aesthetic is built on depth and shadow, rich, layered colors that instantly make a space feel warm, cocooned, and timeless. Think of the deep browns of old leather-bound books, the charcoal grays of stormy evenings, and the forest greens that echo ivy climbing up ancient stone walls. If you're ready for a bold change, painting your walls in a dark, matte finish is one of the easiest ways to create instant drama. Shades like charcoal, olive, or a deep navy blue can completely transform a plain room into a space that feels storied and intimate. But maybe you're not quite ready to commit to dark walls. That's perfectly fine. You can build just as much depth by layering darker tones through textiles, furniture, and accessories instead. Start with your bedding. Swap out bright white sheets for warm cream or muted linen tones, then add a deep, moody duvet cover in dark green, burgundy, or chocolate brown. Heavy curtains are another simple way to shift the mood. Velvet or thick linen drapes in a rich, saturated color not only keep the room cozy during chilly nights but also add a soft, romantic quality to the light that filters through during the day. And don't underestimate the power of good lighting. Switch out any harsh, cool-toned bulbs for warm, amber ones, or even vintage Edison bulbs if you like that old-world look. A few well-placed table lamps with warm shades can cast just the right glow, turning your bedroom into a private reading nook as the sun sets. The goal here is to create a palette that feels layered but never flat, a space that changes with the time of day and invites you to slow down, unplug, and sink into the atmosphere you've created. Dark academia isn't about being gloomy. It's about building a room that feels comforting and alive, with shadows and highlights that make you want to linger just a little bit longer. Now that you've set the mood with a rich, moody color palette, it's time to anchor your dark academia bedroom with furniture that feels like it has a story to tell. This style thrives on pieces that look timeless, worn in, and a little eclectic, as if you've curated your room over the years rather than furnished it all at once. Start with the bed, since it's the heart of any bedroom. A classic wooden bed frame, something in dark walnut, mahogany, or even black painted wood, instantly sets the tone. If you can find one with carved details or an old headboard, even better. Vintage or antique-style beds feel right at home in this look, but don't stress if you're working with what you have. A simple bed can be dressed up beautifully with layered bedding and textured throws. A small writing desk is another signature piece for a dark academia bedroom. Whether you're a student, a writer, or just someone who loves the romance of an old desk, this adds a practical and aesthetic focal point. Look for something in solid wood, with brass hardware or worn edges, the kind of desk that invites you to sit down and lose track of time scribbling notes or flipping through books. Next, think about storage. Instead of sleek, modern dressers, consider an old chest of drawers or a vintage cabinet. Pieces with character, maybe a slightly scratched surface or original metal handles, add that authentic, lived-in feeling that dark academia embraces. If you have the space, a low bookshelf or two is perfect for stacking not just books, but also candles, trinkets, or framed art. Your bedside table can be just as interesting. A mismatched nightstand works perfectly here. An old stool, a small vintage side table, or even a repurposed trunk can hold your essentials while adding texture and charm. Don't feel pressured to match every piece. In fact, a bit of contrast makes the room feel real. Maybe your bed frame is dark and solid, but your desk is lighter oak, or your dresser is painted a soft, dusty color. These small shifts keep the room from feeling stiff and make it feel genuinely collected over time. Lastly, pay attention to what sits on these surfaces. A stack of worn paperbacks on the nightstand, an old lamp with a warm glow, and maybe a brass clock or a vintage picture frame. These small details help your furniture tell a story, turning your bedroom into a space where you feel surrounded by things that inspire you, night after night. Once your furniture is in place, it's time to bring the entire dark academia vision to life through thoughtful, layered details. This is where your bedroom shifts from simply nice to deeply atmospheric, a place that feels like a personal hideaway on crisp autumn nights. First, let's talk about books, the soul of any dark academia space. Pile them up wherever it feels right, stack novels and old poetry collections on your nightstand, line them along open shelves, or create small towers right on the floor next to your bed or desk. Leather-bound volumes, vintage hardcovers, and even worn paperbacks all work together to create that scholarly, slightly chaotic vibe that makes this style feel lived in. Lighting is the next essential detail. While you might already have a main ceiling light, think about how the room feels when the sun goes down. A couple of table lamps with warm, muted shades are perfect for creating pools of soft light in dark corners. Add a brass or glass lantern on your desk or dresser for an old-world touch. And if you love a bit of flicker, cluster candles in vintage holders, brass candlesticks, glass votives, or even a candelabra if you really want to lean in. Just be mindful of fire safety and consider flameless candles if you'd rather not worry about open flames. Artwork and wall decor are where you can really personalize the atmosphere. Choose pieces that feel timeless and a little mysterious, oil portraits, old botanical sketches, antique maps, or black and white photographs. Mismatched frames in dark wood, black, or tarnished gold add to the layered look. Hang a few pieces together to create a mini gallery wall above your bed or desk, or prop framed art on shelves for a more casual feel. Rugs are another detail that often gets overlooked but makes a huge difference. A Persian-style rug in deep reds, browns, or muted jewel tones adds instant warmth and texture underfoot. Even a small, well-placed rug beside your bed can anchor the space and make it feel cozy on chilly mornings. Finally, think about the little finishing touches. An old globe or clock on your desk, a few pressed flowers in glass frames, or a small collection of vintage trinkets on a shelf. These details are what make your dark academia bedroom feel like it belongs to you and no one else. It's about filling the room with objects that feel storied and a bit mysterious, inviting you to slow down and lose yourself in the atmosphere you've created. When you pay attention to these layers, the books, the glow of warm light, the art, the small collections, you build a room that doesn't just look dramatic, but actually feels like an escape. And that's what makes it so satisfying to come back to night after night. By the way, if you're enjoying this so far, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. We've got a lot more ideas coming your way. Now, back to the details. Now that you've shaped the atmosphere with moody colors, classic furniture, and layered details, it's time to tie everything together with texture, because a dark academia bedroom isn't just about how it looks, but how it feels. Start with your window treatments. Heavy drapes are a simple but powerful way to give your room that weighty, scholarly feel. Opt for thick velvet, wool, or heavy linen in deep colors. Burgundy, forest green, or charcoal are all perfect choices. Let them hang long enough to just kiss the floor, or even puddle slightly for a dramatic, old-world look. Not only do they help block out cold drafts on crisp nights, but they soften harsh light during the day, bathing the room in a warm, muted glow. Next, layer your bedding thoughtfully. A dark academia bed isn't made up of crisp hotel whites. Instead, it's an inviting pile of different textures. Start with natural fiber sheets. Linen or cotton in muted neutrals work best. Add a heavier duvet or quilt in a rich, dark tone, then top it off with a mix of throws and extra blankets in contrasting textures, a chunky knit, a soft wool plaid, or even faux fur for extra comfort on chilly evenings. Pillows are another way to build dimension. Mix a few velvet pillowcases with linen or cotton ones. Stick to earthy, muted shades rather than bright colors. This subtle layering makes the bed feel intentionally unmade, like it's waiting for you to sink in with a book at any hour. If you have space, an upholstered chair or vintage armchair adds an instant reading nook. Choose something in a dark, moody fabric, worn leather, deep green velvet, or even a dark tweed. Drape a soft throw over the arm and place a small side table nearby for your tea, books, or candles. Don't forget the floor. A soft rug adds warmth and ties all these layers together. A Persian-style or Oriental rug in faded reds, browns, or navy adds an old-world touch that feels right at home in a dark academia space. Finally, look at the small textile touches. Maybe it's an old wool blanket draped over a trunk at the foot of the bed, or a plaid scarf casually left on your desk chair. These details feel authentic, practical, and help the space feel personal rather than overly styled. Texture is what makes a dark academia bedroom so inviting on cold autumn nights. Every layer of fabric is an invitation to slow down, settle in, and enjoy the quiet drama you've created. It's proof that comfort and atmosphere can go hand in hand, and when you get it right, you'll find yourself looking forward to nights spent entirely in this cozy, storied retreat. With your palette, furniture, decor, and textures in place, the final layer is what truly makes your dark academia bedroom feel like yours, the personal touches that add soul and meaning to the space. Dark academia isn't about perfection or rigid rules, it's about creating an atmosphere that feels like a private world you've built for yourself. This is where you bring in objects that hold stories, memories, or simply spark curiosity every time you see them. Start with your desk or bedside table. Beyond books and lamps, add pieces that speak to your personality, maybe a small glass dome with a found feather inside, a brass magnifying glass, or a wooden box that holds old letters and mementos. These small curiosities make your room feel like a personal study rather than just another bedroom. Pinboards or corkboards are a perfect fit for this style. Hang one above your desk or lean it against the wall, and use it to collect scraps of inspiration. Handwritten notes, dried leaves, old postcards, ticket stubs from a favorite museum, or even little sketches. This evolving collage will change with the seasons and reflect what's capturing your imagination right now. Add a few living elements, too, but keep them low maintenance and in line with the moody feel. A trailing ivy on a shelf, a small fern in a weathered pot, or even a vase of dried flowers can soften the darkness and connect the space to nature in a subtle, scholarly way. Consider adding a vintage mirror, maybe an oval shape with an old brass frame or one with a bit of patina. Mirrors don't just bounce light, they also add depth and make a small bedroom feel more layered and alive. Textiles can be personal touches, too. An old plaid blanket passed down from family, a handmade quilt, or a thrift wool scarf casually draped over your chair or bed, these pieces bring quiet stories and nostalgia into the room. And if you like music, think about adding an old record player or a vintage-style radio. Playing soft classical music or a favorite lo-fi playlist in the evenings is a simple way to deepen the atmosphere, making the whole room feel like a hidden retreat from modern distractions. Remember, the goal with these final touches isn't to clutter the space but to make it feel like an extension of your mind, a place that invites you to read, write, dream, or simply do nothing at all. When each corner has a little story to tell, your dark academia bedroom becomes more than just a style. It becomes a personal refuge, full of character and quietly dramatic, ready to transform your evenings into something you'll look forward to every single night. Now that you've seen how to shape the atmosphere and layer in personality, let's talk about a few practical tips to help your dark academia bedroom feel balanced, functional, and comfortable, not just theatrical. First, think about balance. It's easy for dark colors and heavy fabrics to make a room feel smaller or too enclosed, so find ways to keep things airy where you can. Use mirrors strategically to bounce warm light around the room. A vintage framed mirror on your dresser or above a fireplace can make a huge difference in how open the space feels. When it comes to lighting, aim for options that are flexible. Layer your lighting instead of relying on one bright ceiling fixture. A combination of table lamps, wall sconces, fairy lights, and candles creates a soft, layered glow that you can adjust to match your mood or the time of day. If you use candles, mix real and flameless options to get the effect without constantly worrying about safety. Keep your textiles practical, too. Heavy curtains are beautiful, but make sure they're easy to draw open during the day. You still want to let in natural light when you need it. If you're layering blankets and throws, stick to materials you can easily wash or change out seasonally to keep things fresh. Don't forget storage. A room filled with books, papers, and collected treasures can quickly slide into clutter if you don't plan for it. Use baskets, vintage trunks, or old suitcases to hide away things you don't want on display. A small bookshelf with closed cabinets below can hold everyday essentials while keeping your visible shelves tidy and styled. When you're choosing decor, start small and build slowly. It's tempting to buy everything at once, but the best dark academia spaces feel authentic because they're gathered over time. Visit thrift stores, antique markets, or online vintage shops. Look for pieces that catch your eye and feel like they belong in your little world. Finally, make sure your space still works for real life. Keep pathways clear, make your bed easy to climb into, and leave yourself a well-lit spot to read, work, or write comfortably. Dark academia is about living inside a mood, but it shouldn't get in the way of your everyday comfort. When you get the balance right, you'll have a space that's practical during the day and transforms into a moody escape every evening, just as it should. So, if you're looking to add drama to your evenings, and wrap your nights in a sense of old-world romance and quiet mystery, a dark academia bedroom is one of the most satisfying ways to do it. This style isn't about following a strict rulebook or copying someone else's idea exactly. It's about creating an atmosphere that feels personal, storied, and a little bit timeless. With the right palette of deep, layered colors, furniture that feels collected and classic, thoughtful details that build atmosphere, and textures that invite you to slow down and stay a while, your bedroom becomes so much more than just a place to sleep. It turns into a private retreat, somewhere you can read, write, or simply get lost in your own thoughts as the evenings grow longer and the air turns crisp outside. Remember, you don't have to get everything perfect from day one. Part of the charm of dark academia is how it evolves. Add new books to your shelves, swap out art when you find something you love, rearrange your furniture when you need a fresh perspective. Let the space grow with you. It should feel like a reflection of your mind as much as your taste. If you enjoyed this guide and you're ready to create your own little world of candlelight, creaking floorboards, and soft shadows, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Charette Theory for more ideas that help you design spaces with intention, warmth, and character. And before you go, let us know in the comments, what's the one detail you can't wait to add to your own dark academia bedroom? Is it the stack of books by the bed, the flicker of candlelight on a rainy night, or the heavy velvet drapes that block out the world? Thanks for spending this time with us, and until next time, keep designing spaces that feel like home, no matter how dramatic, cozy, or unexpected they may be.